It's been a little while since I posted here at Windswept Willows Farm. Kind of been busy getting things done and haven't picked up the camera much. But I thought since I now have 4 breeds of geese on the Livestock Conservancy list, that it might be nice to share some information about the 4 breeds with you all. Alright, so we'll start with buff geese, and he's of course walking away. This is my juvenile buff gander, and unfortunately he definitely is a gander. I was hoping for a goose so that I could add to my pair, but he is a gander. Rose, my goose, back there, and Bitsy, my gander, is up against the fence over there with the other babies. They are 3 years old. They have not successfully hatched babies on their own. I incubated the eggs and was able to hatch babies, but the American buffs definitely take time to mature and successfully sit on and hatch their eggs. They are a medium breed goose, very close to a large goose. They are solid, very solid and heavy. They have great personalities. They're the reason I got into geese. My buffs are fantastic, but I have known people who have very aggressive buffs as well. So especially during breeding season. So it definitely depends on your geese. Overall, though, this breed is supposed to be one of the best breeds, and I have found that to be true for myself. All 3 of my buffs are just sweet as can be, and I can do anything with Bitsy. I can pick him up if he's in the wrong spot and carry him somewhere. He's like a puppy. Unrest in the yard. Don't quarrel, children. So he's very sweet, and I love him so much. And that's the reason I got into geese, was the buffs have been fantastic for me. So definitely your mileage may vary, but overall they have a great reputation, and I have found them to be awesome geese. If you have children, you may want to look at one of my other breeds, which is the Sebastopol geese. As you can see, this little fellow here is a color-carrying curly goose. He is one of my juveniles from this year. And then I also have some smooth-breasted geese, because Mama was smooth-breasted and Daddy was fully curly. My geese looked completely white, but they ended up actually having, the dad is a color carrier. He has a little tiny feather right beside his neck, and that little gray feather has made all the difference. So I have some buff and white babies, and I have a saddleback gray boy right here in front of you. Freckles. He had a lot of freckles on his head when he was a baby. Now he's just got one. So it was kind of fun to see all the colors, but it was a real surprise because I thought I bought white geese. I actually thought they were all fully curly, but ended up having 3 smooth-breasted and 1 fully curly. And then they had the babies, and some of them are fully curly and some of them are smooth. You're supposed to get at least 50% smooth and 50% curly, but I ended up with a lot of smooth-breasted this year. You can also have completely smooth geese, but that is really undesirable. What you would be looking for is fully curly, unless you're trying to improve your feathering, and then you might want to put a smooth-breasted female in there as well. So I'm going to be keeping my curly female to put with my boy Percy over here, who is a completely different Sebastopol line. And then of course we have Peter and Prue, and the rest of my little friends might just be hanging out with us for fun. But I will also be trying to improve my buff lines. Both of them are girls, because buff is carried by the father, and once you have buff babies, those are girls. So unless you have a buff female and a buff male. So my girls, I'm probably going to put with a fully curly and try to get some fully curly buffs. They're beautiful though, aren't they? They're so pretty. Yes, yes, yes. I know we can't keep all the boys. We can't keep all the boys. No, we can't keep all the boys. But these guys are just sweet and cuddly and fun. They climb up beside me. They lay at my feet. They chew on my clothes. They're just like little puppies. If you're looking for something as a first-time goose owner and you have children, I would say Sebastopols would be your best choice. They are not livestock guardians. They are little, delicate geese. Delicate in size. They've been just as sturdy as my other geese for me. So, but you cannot depend on this geese to defend against anything. Overall, I do not believe in considering a goose a livestock guardian. I consider geese to be livestock alarm systems. And my guardian system is this electric fence and strong, sturdy caging at night. So they are great at alarming. They are great at startling away hawks, but they are not able to protect the farm from large predators, especially, of course. Oh, Freckles. Freckles came to join me. So Freckles is a real affectionate little guy, and he always likes to come up here and hang out with me and preen my hair and just be with me for hours, right, Freckles? So let's talk about our third breed of goose that we have here, and that is little Phineas. Here is a Roman Tufted. Phineas came from Tennessee, and my females, they're back there, came from California. So the great thing about this breed is that it can be sexed at hatch, which you can sex Sebastopols from hatch, but only if they're from pure white lines that have never had color in them. So I cannot sex mine from hatch. But the Roman Tufted can be sexed from hatch. So I was able to get a male and 2 females and know that immediately. So that was great. They have not been bred yet for me, so I don't know how their breeding behavior is. But, you know, these guys, the Sebastopols, I was sat down on the ground and they're just hatched, and they all came piling over and sat in my lap, and Mom and Dad were playing with my shoes and were like very mellow. They're great with me the whole time. I was careful not to push Prudence or upset her. I put the food and water close to her nest box, and when she had the babies, I very carefully put it at the far side of them for the first couple days while they were in the box. But they're so mellow and laid back about the whole experience, and definitely not at all worrisome for me. They do trust me. They consider me part of their gaggle. So they would not have behaved that way with a perfect stranger, of course. But overall, it was a very nice experience with them. And she had 10 kids her first year. So that was pretty good too. So we will find out next year how these guys do. Overall, they're a little bit more independent, a little bit more feisty than my other 2 breeds so far. But they still like to hang out with people and interact somewhat. They're definitely more independent though. So the last breed I have, and also of course on the Livestock Conservancy list, is the Cotton Patch Goose. Cotton Patches are able to be sexed at birth as well, or hatch as well. The females are dark and the males are light. And the females start out solid gray as babies and then mold out a lot of their gray to become gray and white. The males end up white. They can have blue eyes. They cannot have blue eyes. They can have orange beaks. They can have pink beaks. basically the standard is that you have to know what line they come from because they are a landrace breed, which was created from many goose breeds for a specific purpose. So they were designed to weed cotton fields in the south. They wanted a light goose that could fly from predators, and that's what we have here. A very light, small goose that can fly from predators. My girls fly a little bit. They get about 2 feet high. My boys haven't seemed to fly at all, and I know other people have birds that really fly a lot. I have the sea and water lines, so they are 2 good solid lines to have your cotton patch geese come from, and I'm really enjoying them so far. The girls are incredibly affectionate. They just want to cuddle and have me pet them and fuss over them. The boys are pretty affectionate, but they do not want to be hugged. They prefer to come up and interact with me. So definitely another fantastic breed. And again, a breed that I don't know how they'll be during breeding season because they're new to me this year. So those are the 4 breeds I have. Right, buddy? He wants cuddles? He says, no, I don't want cuddles, Mom. Being a big boy. Hey, Bitsy. How's my boy? Bitsy wants cuddles. Bitsy always wants cuddles. So these are my 4 breeds that I have. I enjoy all 4 breeds immensely. Just thought people might like some kind of pros and cons of the breeds. Honestly, I have mostly pros because I like all 4 breeds and that's why I have them. But definitely if you're looking for something, maybe your kids are a little older and you want a sturdy goose that's going to do well on the homestead and do a lot of weeding for you and just be low fuss, I definitely recommend the American Buffs. If you have children, now they still do occasionally nip by accident when they're pulling on my clothes, so you wouldn't want to just have your children out potentially unsupervised all the time with a gaggle full of geese. But if you have younger children, I definitely recommend the Sebastopols for their smaller size and mild nature. And then if you want something fun and you really want to help with a more endangered breed, the Cotton Patch and the Roman Tufted are good choices. If you have any questions or you just want to talk geese, I'm always happy to talk to you. Drop a comment or go to my farm page and message me. And I'm going to leave you with some footage of the geese going to bed at night. And I also have taught them the all geese to bed. So they just go to bed when it's bedtime. Sometimes Bitsy tries to sneak in with his friends, even though he has to sleep with his wife. All geese to bed. 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 Yes, Phineas. All geese to bed. All geese to bed. That means you, Daffy. All geese to bed. All geese to bed. Daffy, come to bed. All geese to bed. All geese to bed. All geese to bed. Amelia, with your twisted wingtip, go to bed. All geese to bed. Bitsy, not you. All geese to bed. All geese to bed. Good job. Go ahead, Daddy. Go to bed, Pete. Bitsy, not you. Petey, you go. Sorry, I wasn't after you. All geese to bed. All geese to bed. Wonderful job, friends. Have a good evening. Good night.